Jake Morrison grabbed Emma Chen's arm outside Riverside High, his fingers digging into her skin hard enough to leave marks. "You think you're too good to talk to me?" His breath reeked of alcohol at 2 in the afternoon. Emma tried to pull away. "Let go of me." Jake's friends circled them in the parking lot, blocking her path. Being the mayor's son meant Jake Morrison did whatever he wanted. Teachers looked the other way. The principal took long lunches when complaints came in. Money and power created invisible shields. "I'm talking to you," Jake said, shoving her against a car. Emma's shoulder hit the side mirror. That's when Marcus Chen pulled into the parking lot on his Harley, the engine cut off. Silence fell across the watching students. Everyone knew Marcus, the leather vest, the patches, the reputation. But what they didn't know was the tattooed biker removing his helmet was Emma's father. Marcus took in the scene instantly. His daughter's frightened face, the fingerprints already forming bruises on her arm, the entitled smirk on the tall blonde kid's face. "Take your hands off her." Marcus's voice was quiet but carried across the lot like thunder. Jake turned, laughing. "Old man, you don't know who you're—" Marcus moved faster than Jake expected. One moment he was 10 feet away. The next, Jake was on the ground, nose bleeding, staring up at the sky, wondering what happened. Before we continue, let us know in the comments where you're watching from, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Someone had their phone out. The video started recording the moment Jake hit the ground. Marcus helped Emma up, checked her arm, his jaw clenched so tight his teeth could crack. "Press charges," Marcus told his daughter. "We're doing this right." Jake scrambled to his feet, blood streaming down his face. "My father will destroy you." "Do you know who I am?" "Don't care," Marcus said. "Touch my daughter again, and this will be the best day of your life compared to what comes next." The video was already uploading before they left the parking lot. Within 3 hours, the parking lot video had 50,000 views. By dinner, it hit 2 million. The caption read, "Mayor's son gets what he deserves from biker dad." Emma sat at their kitchen table, ice pack on her shoulder, while Marcus made phone calls. His voice stayed calm, but she could see the rage simmering underneath. "Yes, I want to file assault charges against Jake Morrison," Marcus said into the phone. Long pause. "I don't care who his father is. My daughter has bruises." The police department transferred him 4 times. Each time, someone new would pick up, hear the name Morrison, and suddenly remember they weren't the right person to talk to. Emma's phone buzzed constantly. Text messages flooded in. The video had been shared on every social media platform. Comments poured in by the thousands. "Dad, you're trending," Emma said, scrolling through her phone. Marcus hung up. Frustrated. "5th time they've transferred me. Nobody wants to take the report." That's when the doorbell rang. Marcus opened it to find 2 police officers on his doorstep. Relief flooded through him for approximately 3 seconds. "Marcus Chen, you're under arrest for assault of a minor." "What?" Emma jumped up. "He assaulted me. There's video." The older officer looked uncomfortable. "Sir, you need to come with us." "Jake Morrison is 18, Marcus said carefully. "Check his birthday. He's not a minor." The officers exchanged glances. "We have our orders." As they put handcuffs on Marcus, Emma filmed everything on her phone. Her hands shook, but she kept recording. "This is wrong. He was protecting me. Jake assaulted me first." "Emma, call Uncle Tony," Marcus said as they led him away. "Tell him everything." The second video went up within minutes. Biker dad arrested for defending daughter from mayor's son. It got 3 million views before midnight. Mayor Richard Morrison called an emergency press conference the next morning. His silver hair was perfectly styled, his suit immaculate. Jake stood behind him, nose bandaged, playing the victim. "Yesterday, a dangerous individual attacked my son at his school," the mayor announced. "This man, Marcus Chen, has a criminal record and violently assaulted Jake without provocation." The lie was so smooth, so polished. Richard Morrison had been a politician for 20 years. He knew how to control narratives. "My son was simply talking to a classmate when this man attacked him. We will prosecute to the fullest extent of the law." Reporters shouted questions. The mayor ignored them all, walking away with Jake following behind. What the mayor didn't know was that 12 students had come forward. They'd given statements to Emma's lawyer, Tony Chen, Marcus's brother. Tony was a civil rights attorney who'd been waiting for a case exactly like this. Tony held his own press conference 2 hours later. He played the full parking lot video. Then he played Emma's video of Marcus's arrest. Then he introduced the students. One by one, they told their stories. Jake Morrison had been bullying people for years. He'd assaulted 3 other girls. He'd beaten up 2 boys who refused to give him homework answers. Everyone was too terse to report him because of his father. The mayor's office has been covering up his son's behavior for 3 years, Tony announced. We have documentation of complaints that were buried. Teachers who were fired for trying to report incidents. This ends now. The story exploded. National news picked it up. Social media turned into a wildfire. People dug into Richard Morrison's history, finding other cover-ups, other incidents of corruption. By evening, the hashtag Justice for Emma was trending worldwide. The video of Jake grabbing Emma had been watched 20 million times. In his holding cell, Marcus watched the news on a small TV, a slight smile crossing his face. The bail hearing happened the next morning. The courtroom was packed. Marcus's motorcycle club showed up 50 members strong, quiet and respectful in their leather vests. They filled the back rows, arms crossed, watching everything. Emma sat in the front row with Tony. Her arm still showed the bruises where Jake had grabbed her. The prosecutor requested high bail. Mr. Chen has a prior record and is a flight risk. Tony stood up. My client has 1 misdemeanor from 15 years ago for a bar fight where he was defending someone else. He's owned his auto repair shop for 12 years. Pays taxes, and has never missed a court date. He's not going anywhere. The judge looked at the crowded courtroom, then at the prosecutor. Bail is set at $5,000. The prosecutor's face fell. They'd clearly expected much higher. Marcus walked out 20 minutes later. The motorcycle club erupted in cheers. Cameras flashed everywhere. Emma hugged her father tight. "I'm sorry, Dad," she whispered. "Nothing to be sorry for," Marcus said. "You did nothing wrong." That afternoon, something unexpected happened. Local businesses started putting up signs in their windows. "We stand with Marcus Chen. Justice for Emma. Protect our kids." The mayor's office tried to spin it. They released statements saying Marcus Chen was dangerous, that he had attacked a teenager unprovoked, but nobody was buying it anymore. A woman named Patricia Williams came forward. 10 years ago, Jake's older brother had assaulted her daughter at a party. The mayor's office had paid her $50,000 to stay quiet. She had the documents, the NDA, everything. "I was scared then," Patricia told reporters, tears streaming down her face. "But I'm not scared anymore. That family has hurt too many people." 2 more families came forward with similar stories. The local news ran segments every night. The mayor's approval rating dropped 30 points in 3 days. Marcus went back to work at his repair shop. Customers lined up around the block, wanting to shake his hand, to tell him they supported him. Some just needed oil changes, but they chose his shop specifically because of what happened. Jake Morrison's world crumbled faster than he could process. His social media accounts were flooded with hate messages. He had to delete everything. Friends stopped returning his calls. Girls he'd dated came forward with their own stories. Someone leaked security footage from a party 3 months earlier. It showed Jake slapping a girl who refused to kiss him. Another video surfaced of him starting a fight at a restaurant, getting away because his father intervened. The evidence kept piling up. Jake had been protected his whole life, never facing consequences. Now everything came crashing down at once. His father hired the best lawyers money could buy. They tried to suppress evidence, to get charges dismissed, to make deals. But the public pressure was too intense. The district attorney, who usually did whatever the mayor wanted, suddenly remembered he was up for re-election next year. Emma received death threats from Jake's supporters, but she also received thousands of messages of support. Girls from other schools shared their own stories of assault and harassment. The movement grew beyond just one incident. Tony filed a civil lawsuit against Jake Morrison for assault and battery. He filed a separate suit against the mayor's office for covering up complaints and creating an unsafe environment at the school. Jake's mother, Catherine Morrison, finally had enough. She'd known about her son's behavior for years, but her husband always made it disappear. Now, with the whole world watching, she couldn't pretend anymore. She filed for divorce and released a statement. "I can no longer support my husband's actions or my son's behavior. What happened to Emma Chen should never happen to anyone. I apologize to all the families my husband and son have hurt." The mayor's office had no comment. Jake tried to leave town, to transfer to a college out of state. But every school rejected him once they saw the viral videos. He was toxic now, radioactive. Nobody wanted him. Marcus's criminal trial started 3 weeks later. The prosecution's case fell apart almost immediately. They had no evidence except Jake's testimony, and Jake was the least credible witness imaginable. Tony played the parking lot video in court. Frame by frame he showed Jake grabbing Emma, shoving her, refusing to let go. He showed Marcus intervening only after his daughter was physically assaulted. "This is a father protecting his child," Tony told the jury. "Nothing more, nothing less." The prosecution tried to paint Marcus as a dangerous biker with gang connections. Tony demolished that narrative by calling character witnesses, customers from the repair shop, teachers from Emma's school who knew Marcus as a devoted parent, members of his motorcycle club, who did charity rides for children's hospitals. "My client runs a legitimate business," Tony said. "He volunteers at veteran centers. He's never been in serious trouble with the law. The prosecution wants you to convict him because of how he looks, not because of what he did." The jury deliberated for 47 minutes, not guilty on all charges. Marcus hugged Emma as the verdict was read. The courtroom erupted in applause until the judge called for order. Jake Morrison's assault trial was scheduled for 2 months later. His lawyers tried every delay tactic imaginable, but nothing worked. The evidence was overwhelming. 12 witnesses saw him assault Emma. The video showed everything clearly. Jake pleaded guilty to avoid trial. He received 2 years probation, mandatory anger management classes, and a restraining order keeping him away from Emma and the school. It wasn't enough for what he'd done, but it was more accountability than he'd ever faced before. The civil lawsuit settled out of court. The amount was undisclosed, but Emma's college education was fully funded. Several other families who'd been paid off to stay quiet also settled. Mayor Richard Morrison announced he wouldn't seek re-election. His political career was finished. 6 months after the parking lot incident, Emma stood at a podium addressing a packed auditorium. The local news covered it. National outlets sent reporters. "I never wanted to be famous," Emma said. "I just wanted Jake Morrison to stop hurting people. But what happened showed me something important. Silence protects abusers. Speaking up protects victims." She announced the creation of the Emma Chen Foundation, dedicated to helping assault victims navigate the legal system and get protection from powerful abusers. Tony would run the legal clinic. Marcus helped secure funding from local businesses. The original video of Marcus defending Emma had been viewed over 100 million times, but it sparked something bigger than viral fame. Schools across the country updated their policies on handling assault complaints. Several states passed laws preventing officials from covering up crimes committed by their relatives. Marcus's repair shop had a 6-month waiting list. He hired 3 more mechanics and moved to a bigger location. Not because of the publicity, but because people genuinely trusted him. Emma graduated high school with honors. She decided to study law, wanting to help people like Tony helped her. Marcus attended her graduation, watching his daughter walk across the stage, proud beyond words. Jake Morrison moved to another state, working at a warehouse. Living quietly, he'd finally learned actions had consequences, the hard way. The Morrison family name, once powerful enough to bury any scandal, became synonymous with corruption and abuse of power. Richard Morrison's political legacy was destroyed by one viral video and the courage of a teenage girl who refused to stay silent. Marcus framed a photo from the graduation. Emma, in her cap and gown, smiling, confident, unbroken. Next to it, he kept a newspaper clipping. The headline read, "Local hero shows power of standing up." He didn't feel like a hero. He felt like a father who'd protected his daughter. But if his story inspired other parents to stand up against bullies, against abuse, against people who thought power made them untouchable, then maybe the viral fame meant something after all. The video that started everything still circulated online. New comments appeared daily. People shared their own stories of standing up to bullies, of finding courage when it mattered most. Emma's final post about the incident summed it up perfectly. "My dad didn't go viral for attacking someone. He went viral for doing what every parent should do, protecting their child when no one else would. That's not violence. That's love." The post got 40 million likes and counting.